I'm a senior designer for Jordan brand, and I work directly with Chris Paul on his products. And my job really is to take his insights, his style of play in mind, keep all that in mind, listen to him very carefully, and then translate that into great performance products. That's the big picture, right? Now with that, there's a lot of subtlety. What is the right technology to use? What is the right fit? What is the experience underfoot? Looking at research, looking at high-speed video, going to see him at games and seeing how he acts on the court. What is it that he does different than everybody else? And also talking to his trainers, talking to his brother, and finding out more things about him that maybe he is not willing or unable to articulate just right. And you always learn a little bit more about somebody when you talk to the people they work with or have lived with in the past or trained with. All that is deep insight. So that's my job, is really do a lot of fact-finding and research, and then find a way to translate that into a product that makes that athlete feel special, one, play the best that they can play, two, and creates an access for every other athlete that wants to follow in their path or be as good as they are. It can last anywhere from a year, which would be very short, to 2 years, which would be sort of the longer end of the things. Usually somewhere in the 18-month zone. Yeah. We didn't know Chris was going to be in LA the entire time we were working on the product. Up to December, my assumption was he was going to be at the Hornets. And we met with him in New Orleans. I met with him in South Augusta at Peach Jam, in Winston-Salem during his camp, Chris Paul camp. And the whole time we didn't know where he was going to be, other than New Orleans probably. So we had no idea. And I would not work any different with him. Depending on where he's going, it doesn't really influence me of how I work with him. What I need to do is make the best product for him. It doesn't matter what team he plays with. I go through a lot of versions, especially with Chris. He has a very refined taste, and he's very deeply involved in the process. We meet via phone, we meet in person and email. And just in person, we met 6 or 7 times in the last year to go through every single prototype along the way. He's involved from the very beginning, so when I do my research, he's involved, his brother's involved, his family's involved, and all the way through, we show him every prototype we make, which makes for quite interesting discussions, but it also helps us understand what we need to do and how we can be better. And that, to me, that's the right way to approach the product, especially for Chris, is we're able to listen to each other, but more so I'm able to listen to him. And every step along the way, we can recalibrate the process and sharpen our lens and be really sharp by the time we're done. It's definitely, so when Chris chooses a technology, there are two things that come into play. So we had a 2-hour conversation about all the shoes you used to wear. All the signature shoes, the shoes you used to wear in college, the shoes you used to wear in high school. And what we did is we looked at, what did you like about this shoe? What did you not like about this shoe? Was the height right? Was the traction pattern good? Was the cushioning right? How did the transition feel? And so we have a good a base of knowledge about what does he like, what does he not like, and then it's more specific to how was your last shoe, because that's the closest that we have in terms of current technology. And when we dissect that, it really gives us a good indication of what do we want to keep, what we want to make better, and what are potentially new avenues that we can explore to get to a better place. For me, the journey is never done. I'm already excited about the next shoe that we're working on. He's already excited about the next shoe that we're working on, because new technologies come on board, new ways of manufacturing come on board, and just purely new insights around his style of play. He's very, very careful when he wears the shoe. We do a lot of wear testing. He pays a lot of attention to what's going on, and gives us a lot of feedback around what it is he likes and what it is that's not working, and we can always refine and recalibrate what we're doing. It is, to me, it's the icing on the cake, right? So first and foremost, my job and Chris's job is to perform, right? So for me to build the performance footwear and for him to perform on the court. Now, if I can capture some very emotionally important things for him, and we both know he's a very family-oriented human being. If I can capture some of that, and I know it's going to make him feel great every time he puts the shoes on, and that's the difference between a regular shoe and a signature shoe, right? And working with a signature athlete, you can dive quite a bit deeper and make it very meaningful for them. And then the flip side of that is, every time he wears the shoe, every time he puts it on, he feels more special. He feels good about what he's doing, and you feel good, you play good, and that's the goal. So thinking about manufacturing is sort of the back end of the conversation, right? So I do research with Chris and on Chris and his family and his style of play, most importantly. But also I have a backlog of technologies that I'm thinking about or I've worked on in the past or that are currently being explored. And I'm in constant contact with our factory partners and development partners. There's a big team working on important projects like this, important products like this. And we all work together to make the best project. So Estelle, who is our developer, did a fantastic job just getting everything together, making sure the technologies work out right. All the testing is done. There's a huge testing protocol that goes with this. And Jamal making sure that we're staying connected with Chris, that we have the right insights, and we're pursuing it in the right way going forward. Both. And we also have a new highly talented color designer on the team, Eric Sandy, who's been able to take these ideas and take some of this analogies and metaphors that we take, and he puts them through a lens of color and is able to contribute quite an array of ideas. And we then sit down as a team and decide what is the most important ones, which are the most impactful ones, and those are the ones that go forward. Also, Chris and family play around with color on the shoes quite a bit, and they have a lot of input that we're able to take and then sift through and make sure they're appropriate for the market, they're appropriate for him, and keep the energy very high. So we got to balance a lot of different ideas, and the good thing is we can take a lot of ideas, go through them, and find the best ones, rather than having no ideas and having to build on it. We have quite a big log of color ideas. Yeah. How do I answer that, Jana? More to come?
You have to wait and see.
Wait and see, yeah.
Wait and see.